one of the best leg presses in existence. I'm going to show you my modified Gymleco hip press, leg press. Check this out. So there's a gazillion leg presses out there. But what I find, you may or may not agree, is a lot of times, sometimes the upright or semi-upright leg presses are actually much easier on your lower back. There's much less chance for spinal compression because you can stabilize your torso and really focus just on pressing and engaging your core when you press, as opposed to a line. These three beauties right here, I've modified all of them, and I'm telling you, they're probably the top. All three of them are top 5 leg presses in existence. I guarantee it. And I'll show you why. But today I'm just going to show you the Gymleco leg press. I love the OG Tyler Hobson or pendulum hip press. It's a cool machine. I've got a video in here detailing it in the past and how it was okay, but for me, I didn't like it for a lot of reasons. One of which is it couldn't allow me to have full hip and knee flexion and full hip and knee extension without lifting my lower back up off the pad. Modifying the foot plate, especially, most importantly, in addition to kind of adding to the strength curve, has allowed me to truly get full range of motion safely without any spinal compression or without lifting my hips up off the pad. With this model to begin with, it had 2 loading horns. So the top loading horn is a little easier, the bottom loading horn is a little harder. I added this additional top horn to modify the strength curve even more, so I can do all sorts of cool drop sets. What I want you to note especially is what I did. I took off the existing foot plate and I made my own. The top part and then the bottom part. So the cool thing with this is going to allow me to hit all parts of the leg and get that full flexion without lifting my rear end off the pad. The other thing I did is I added a seat belt. So there are several features I really liked with the original, but it really could be improved upon with a couple simple tweaks, and that's kind of what I did. I'm just here warming up. The main issue was the way the foot plate was just straight. With the arc of excursion, unless you had crazy mobility of your ankles, it was a little uncomfortable. So this is just me sort of warming up with a few sets. So altering the foot plate made a massive difference. So I kind of just played around with the angle and found the best angle so that I can hit the entirety of the leg. I'm going to show you here in just a second how I can hit crazy quad as well as a hip, adductor, glute completely with this machine. The difference between a lot of other hip presses, it's got a shorter arc of excursion. It's not as sweeping as the pendulum hip press or the hammer. The issue with the hammer is the strength curve is a little off, and the foot plate angle is okay, but it's not ideal, and it doesn't come down low enough. So I'm going to show you 3 separate foot positions that really allow you to hammer your legs. So this is the feet super low. Notice how much knee flexion I can get safely without lifting my back, with engaging my core without lifting my hips up. You see the foot plate actually comes below my glutes. So I can fully flex my knees, so I can fully stimulate my quads. So that's the cool thing. Most hip presses just don't do that. That's what my main issue with most hip presses is. You just can't get very good quad activation. It's sort of a little bit of quad, but it's just sort of an in-between. So this low foot position really just hammers the quads. Look at that foot flexion. So I can bring literally my feet almost to my rear end safely. Now this is the second foot position. I bring my feet up just a little bit. My toes are just in that crease. And this is more of a traditional low foot position, which hits the quads extremely well. You do get a little bit of adductor, but this is more of a traditional foot position, whereas the super low is more of a unique niche foot position that really hammers the quad. So this is very, very comfortable. And notice the short arc of excursion. I'm not having to lift my back up. There's no spinal compression whatsoever, and I'm able to control the movement relatively well. The seatbelt helps. The handle position on the original is fantastic. So the third foot position is my feet higher and wider. And even still, you get some quad, but you're getting some glute and adductor, particularly with this foot position. You can see even it's almost a straight horizontal translation with a little bit of mild sweeping. Very, very comfortable. So one of the ways I really enjoy doing this is doing a mechanical drop set in all 3 foot positions, starting from low to high, to hit the entirety of the leg. I just don't know any other machine except the ones I've modified that I'll show you that allow me to hit crazy knee flexion like that. So I'm going to show you a drop set here. So I've done a bunch of, and I just take the weight from the very bottom horn and I put it in the middle horn. Pump out some reps. Then you're going to see I'm taking the horn to the top horn that I added to do an even greater mechanical drop. So making it slightly easier, but still some resistance, mostly at the end of the movement. So it makes a massive difference. You guys will have to stay tuned to see some of the other leg presses, including my Medics and my Nautilus Explode that I modified that are similar. No question in my mind, this is much better than the pendulum hip press for the reasons I outlined. And I just love the thing. Very small footprint. You know, the thing that it could have is allowing the seat back to adjust more. That's the one downside of this, is you can't adjust the seat back. It's kind of just there depending on your limb length. So I kind of just took that into account when I modified this foot plate. You guys think? Like, comment, subscribe below. Have an awesome day.